ready to go. Ready to go.
Good morning. Beautiful start weather-wise here in north central Wisconsin. From our downtown Wausau studios at Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230, corner of Washington Street and North 3rd Street, plenty of sunshine. Temperature stands at 63 degrees. I am Chad Holmes. It is 9:07. It is hour number 2 of the program for this 6th day of August of 2024. Thanks again to Bill Swatala, Democratic candidate for the 87th Assembly District, for joining us here today. And again, we are coming up fast on the primary election. Yep, we have a primary election coming up just in 7 days' time. Yep, next Tuesday. And, of course, for primary election day, make sure you're tuned in right here to Bull Falls Radio and the Civic Media Radio Network. There'll be complete coverage of all the primary races. There'll be complete coverage of the 2 questions for the state constitution. And we'll look forward as well to being able to know who's going to be running against each other in November. We just, again, we know that Bill Swatala will be running in November. We'll wait and see which of the Republicans will be winning in the 87th. Again, we had just last week Corey Sillers. If you missed our conversation with Corey Sillers, you can go back and listen to that from last week, learn a little bit more about him. And now, if you missed any portion of our interview with Bill Swatala, you can also go back and tune in. We'll have that up at the end of the show. I'll be putting up our podcast coming up at the end of the show. So, again, fall primary, August 13th, next Tuesday. Make a plan to be a voter in every election, from local to state matters. Be sure to make a plan to be a voter between now and next Tuesday. And the deadlines are coming up on Thursday for the absentee ballot, to request an absentee ballot. Coming up on Thursday at 5 p.m. It is the deadline to request that absentee ballot. Regular and permanent overseas voters, if you're a regular or permanent overseas voter, your absentee ballot request must be received by your municipal clerk no later than 5 p.m. on Thursday. Also, just make sure that you know that you can be a same-day voter registration. That's one of the good things about Wisconsin, same-day voter registration state. You can learn more. You can take a look at what's going to be on your ballot and everything else you need to know by going to civicmedia.us/vote. So again, you can learn more about the deadlines to vote, how to be a voter next week and in November. Information at civicmedia.us/vote, and also to learn more about who and what is on your ballot next week, where your polling place is, and how you can request an absentee ballot. Head to myvote.wi.gov. That's myvote.wi.gov to get all that information and more. And we'll have another candidate coming up on Thursday morning. We'll be talking again to the 7th District Democratic candidate, Elsa Duranzo. She is going up against Kyle Kilborn in the Democratic primary. So Elsa Duranzo will be joining us coming up on Thursday at 9:20 a.m. Before we go any further, need to say good morning to Aiden Bennett, who is right now in the other room, in front of the microphone, in front of the board, pushing all the buttons, making sure we get on and off the air correctly. Aiden, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you again. You are our intern here. You'll be with us throughout the month of August on Tuesdays and Fridays. We're giving you even more time back there. You've been pushing the buttons for much of the first hour. Any questions? Any comments? Are you feeling comfortable making sure everything is going well?
I think I'm doing good. I think I'm doing good so far.
We will let you know if you're doing good. No, you're doing
No, he's
fine.
definitely doing good. He's got more responsibility back there, and he's using it very well.
With great power comes great responsibility. So.
Absolutely.
Spider-Man.
So, Aiden, thank you very much. Great to have you on board. We'll have more with you in just a few moments, but you also heard the voice here of our normal engineer and producer. He's usually on the other side of the glass, but since Aiden right now is over there in front of the microphone pushing all the buttons, we have in our studio Ian Welsh. Aiden, I was going to call you Aiden. Ian Welsh. Ian, again, good morning.
Good morning, Chad.
Coming up at the end of the hour, of course, every weekday morning we test you. We have our number for the day quiz.
That's right.
Unfortunately, this week, what are you? 0 for 1.
Oh, for 1, yes.
You're 0 for 1. Again, you got to get to 33% every week in order to have a successful week. And
I should have stuck with the middle answer yesterday instead of choosing the highest answer. But it was the lowest
and you
answer.
tried to use a little chicanery by using what I said before, because I gave you like a little indication you were not right before you had said final answer. So you had jumped in and said, nope, I didn't say final answer yet.
I got the indication, but it was the wrong way for me.
You went in the wrong direction. But would you like to know what the topic is here for the number for the day later in the hour?
Yes. So what is today's topic?
Our number for the day topic will be Walmart. And it's actually interesting because this kind of fits to what I was talking about with Bill Swatala a little bit earlier, talking about Main Street business compared to the big businesses like Walmart and Amazon and others that can have the capability of coming in and basically running mom and pop operations out of business. So Walmart, and it's going to be it's an interesting number. I got to say, it involves the number of states that Walmart is something. So that gives you further, that means it's somewhere between 0 and 50 because there's 50 states in the United States. So it's not going to be above 50 and it's not going to be below 0.
Well, that'll give me something to think about.
So
absolutely.
States in which Walmart is blank. So I'm gonna leave it right there.
And Walmart is a pretty big store, absolutely.
Yes, it is, and it's one that can come after those little stores on Main Street. So we're going to have that be our question for the day.
It's like many times you go to, like you always see a Walmart. Like anytime you go past like a city or like a bigger town, you usually see like some sort of big box store like a Target or Walmart or, those mom and pop stores, unfortunately, they don't last as long as the big box stores do.
Like we heard from Bill, sometimes the price that you have to sell at as a private employer, as somebody that doesn't have the power of stores around the country, is a little different. And again, that'll be something that is definitely an issue as we go towards November. I got a question for Ian here. I mean, you get two people here, and all of a sudden I'm calling Ian and Aiden. Ian and Aiden here. I got Ian next to me and Aiden in the other room. Aiden, how old are you? Are you 18 yet?
No, I'm 17.
When is your 18th birthday?
That's going to be June 23rd.
Of next year.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not going to be able to vote this year.
No,
but next year, then you'll be able to start voting because 18 is the voting age. I was gonna ask you if you had been registered to vote because of with the primary budget. You don't have to worry about that for almost another year.
I don't have to start arguing with politics yet.
Hey, you hang around here a little bit longer, you're going to be arguing politics
I'll be ready
pretty
for
soon.
Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Yes.
Ian, are you registered to vote? Are you ready to go?
Yes, I am. I got to make sure I get out on the 13th of August and make sure I vote. And then I also vote in November as well. Is there another election in between that?
Nope. Actually, it'll be. At least I don't think so.
There is. I want to make sure.
There are so many. There are so many different elections, but no, coming up next week there'll be one. Then in November. But then you think, okay, we're done. We have the presidential election and Senate elections in November. We get a break. No,
we do not.
Coming up early next year, next spring, there will be another significant election here in the state of Wisconsin. It will be for the state Supreme Court, and it will be a vital election. We again have a very narrow margin when it comes to the state Supreme Court for the first time in over a decade. With the last election of Judge Janet Protasiewicz, the liberals on the court were able to have a majority on the state Supreme Court. But coming up next year, one of the liberals is leaving the court. There's going to be an open seat. And that means that the conservative branch of the judiciary will be attempting to regain control of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And obviously, in the last year plus or so, we have seen some significant rulings from the state Supreme Court. So again, one of the things that was a big factor in the last race was a lot of money was put into it, and we're going to see a lot of money.
It's true.
And, it's funny because I have had people say, oh, you guys must love the fact that all this money is in politics because all these people buy all these commercials now. And to a certain extent, that is true. But at the same time, I don't think anybody really loves the fact of seeing all these commercials.
No.
I've been
Especially
watching
when it's the same ones all the time.
I've been watching a lot of the Olympics when I get home in the evening, and I'm not watching on TV. I don't know what it's like on, say, Channel 12 because NBC has the Olympics. I've been watching on Peacock because I got Peacock, so I just watch the sports that I want to watch. But even during those, they cut into the middle, and they have commercials, and most of the commercials are political commercials.
Yes.
Last night, in fact, it was interesting because most of the commercials, one were for Kamala Harris. I thought it's good that she's out there and putting a lot of commercials out there, and the others were for Eric Hovde. And then I did see a few more for Tammy Baldwin. So I think now we're in August, and for those folks who are on the ballot in November.
Yes, the pressure is really on.
You think you're seeing a lot now. Ian, you have seen nothing yet.
No.
You're
Just
gonna
wait till we get to the fall. It's going to be like political commercials every other commercial break.
You're going to see in your dreams these commercials. They're going to be, they're going to be so sapped into your psyche, you're going to think nothing but commercials.
And when you close your eyes, you can't get the voices out of your head.
Exactly right. So we are just starting, because after the primary next week, then we'll know the general election, and we'll see very much, I think, even further airwaves being saturated with political commercials.
So be prepared.
Be
folks.
prepared.
The big wave is coming.
Yeah, but be prepared, number one, by registering the vote as well. So make sure because
every
again,
vote matters.
We're going to talk about these questions on the ballot.
Yes.
Because it's a vital piece of a part of the election next week for a primary. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a little sports update. We got more to talk about. We want you to call in again. Call or text us at 715-382-9297. That's 715-382-9297. We would love for you to be part of the show. With Aiden, with Ian, I'm Chad Holmes Show, Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230.
Well, I have seen you stung by poisonous.
I'm Chad Holmes. Join me and former Wausau West head football coach Jason Foster every Wednesday night from 6 until 8 p.m. starting on August 21st for the return of the Big High School Sports Show on Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230. Online at bullfallsradio.com. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. Each week, we will review and preview all the high school football action throughout central Wisconsin. Plus, we'll be joined by one of our area head coaches and a student-athlete guest as well. Every Wednesday night from 6 till 8 p.m., nothing but high school sports for 2 hours. The Big High School Sports Show, Wednesdays from 6 until 8 p.m., returning on Wednesday, August the 21st on Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230. Online at bullfallsradio.com. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app.
I've got a pocket full of holes, head in the clouds, the king of fools. You've got a ribbon of rainbows, the sun in your burning through. Could be I'm happy, I'm sad, could be I'm losing
Chad Home Show, Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230. Online at bullfallsradio.com. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO. And on the Civic Media app. Just heard a promo. Gotta say, I'm excited because coming up in 2 weeks' time with the return of the big high school sports show every Wednesday night from 6 until 8 p.m. right here on Bull Falls Radio. Myself and former Wausau West football coach Jason Foster during the fall, and then in the wintertime, former Newman Catholic High School boys basketball coach Jeff Gress. We spend 2 hours talking nothing but high school sports. And the reason that, one of the reasons I'm starting to promote the show starting today, just heard it, is of course, to let people know it's coming back. And also because today is a rather big day for high school sports athletes. It is the start of practice for high school football. As I talked about with Brittany Merlot earlier, it is a beautiful morning to start high school football practice. Today is the day that equipment is handed out to all the players and also the first practice. In fact, I'm looking forward when I head off to for my lunch break to swing on over by Wausau West. I know the Warriors will be out there practicing when I am on my lunch hour, so I'm going to pop on over there, take a peek, see some of the guys, some of the coaches, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of excitement. And again, this year we will be bringing you live play-by-play of Wausau West High School football, Marathon High School football, and Newman Catholic High School football. So we have our first games coming up 2 weeks from Friday night. Wausau West will travel all the way up to Superior. It'll be a long road trip for me. We will have live coverage of the Warriors and the Superior Spartans coming up 2 weeks from Friday, and that is the 23rd of August. And also that night we will have the Marathon Red Raiders taking on the Pittsville Panthers at Marathon High School. And that game will be heard live on the Sports 2 stream of bullfallsradio.com and the Civic Media app, and on tape delay following the West game on Bull Falls Radio. During the course of the season, we alternate our broadcast of Wausau West and Marathon live on a Friday night. So in week 2, when the Red Raiders take on the Auburndale Eagles, Tom Weaver will be live on Bull Falls Radio. And when the Wausau West Warriors take on the Hudson Raiders in week number 2, I will be on Sports Stream 2. And also for the home games for Wausau West. One reason that during the course of the fall season, when Wausau West is at home, those are the nights that we have them on the Sports 2 stream and Marathon live on Bull Falls Radio, because you can also catch the Wausau West football broadcast from Tom Field this year on the Wausau West Football YouTube channel. We'll have our broadcast on that YouTube channel as well, so you'll be able to catch it from Tom Field live that way. So plenty of chances to get all of our activities live. And Newman Catholic has their first game in week number 2 of the football season. 8 players don't start until week 2. And the Cardinals will be in action against Phillips in week 2 on Saturday afternoon, live here on Bull Falls Radio. So again, if you're a fan of high school sports, you got plenty of chances to enjoy both the games and also the discussions. And one of the things about the big high school sports show is the discussions we have with area head coaches. Every week we bring in one of our area head coaches to talk about their team, and every week as well. And in fact, the best part of the show is not when we discuss what happened the previous week in football, not when we preview the upcoming games, not even when we talk to the coaches. The best part of the show is actually when one of these student athletes comes in and we get a chance for a long-form interview, a chance to talk for 20 minutes to one of these student athletes about their sport, about their favorite classes, about their lives, about anything, just be able to learn a little bit more about the young people in our community. We really do enjoy that, and hopefully you gain a little bit of knowledge as well when it comes to talking to these young people. So again, hopefully you can join us on Wednesday nights, 6 till 8 p.m., big high school sports show starting 2 weeks from tomorrow on the 21st of August here on Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230, bullfallsradio.com, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. Sports-wise, Brewers, they did not play last night, but they extended their lead in the National League Central Division. The Brewers are 62-49. They are now 6 games ahead after St. Louis lost last night. So the Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates are tied for second. Pittsburgh 6 games back, St. Louis 6 games back of the Crew. Cincinnati, 8.5 games out of first place. They were victorious last night, and the Cubs lost. So that means the Cubs are back in last place in the National League Central at 55-60. Always nice to see when you're looking at the standings. Milwaukee at the top of the standings and the Cubs down at the bottom. The Brewers will be back in action tonight. They will open up a series in Atlanta, taking on the Braves. And last night, the Wausau Woodchucks, they were supposed to be home, but their game was rained out. And not surprisingly, with all that rain, as Brittany said, 1.3 inches of rain at Athletic Park last night. So the Chucks were rained out. They will make it up as part of a doubleheader coming up tonight against the Kenosha Kingfish. And that doubleheader begins at 4:35 tonight. So, again, it's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day to go out for fun at the old ballpark. Beautiful facility, Athletic Park in Wausau. And the Wausau Woodchucks having themselves a terrific season as we're getting close to the end of the regular season and the start of the playoffs. So, Woodchucks, Twin Bill, 4:35 tonight at Athletic Park. So a lot of excitement. I got to say, I'm getting excited. I can't wait to go and see some football practice later today. Cannot wait for the return of the big high school sports show and cannot wait for the return of high school play-by-play here on Bull Falls Radio. Again, big day. Some headlines coming out. Reports, has not officially been announced yet, but reports that Kamala Harris has decided on Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. In fact, Vice President Harris and presumably Governor Walz will be in Eau Claire tomorrow. And I think that the plan was for Todd Alba to be broadcasting his show live from Eau Claire tomorrow. Pat Kreitler will be on hand there as well. So it'll be a lot of coverage of the Vice President and her new running mate paying a visit to Eau Claire tomorrow. And also going to Eau Claire tomorrow, J.D. Vance, the Republican vice presidential candidate. We're going to talk a little bit about this choice. Is it a good one for the vice president? We'll discuss that. But coming up next, it is an information update. News, weather, sports, all coming up top and bottom of every hour. Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230.
Someone to our staff that is well connected around town. Someone who can help our local businesses increase traffic and their visibility among our audience. From connecting clients with high school sports, local news and weather, or the Chad Holmes Show. If you know local business owners, we'd like to get to know you. If you'd like to know more about this opportunity, send me, Chad Holmes, a message at chad.holmes@civicmedia.us. That's chad.holmes@civicmedia.us. And let's set up a time to talk.
And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show, Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230, bullfallsradio.com, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. And mentioned before, we went to the information update about the reports that Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, would be the choice of Vice President Kamala Harris. Very thankful. Text line, Matt from Germantown says it has been confirmed. And yep, Matt is right. It has been confirmed. And he was one of the folks who got a text from the campaign. In fact, I saw a lot of offers about getting texts from the campaign from former Senator, current Vice President Harris, about when she made the decision official, her campaign would send out a text to supporters. And Matt from Germantown says he got the text. It is official that Governor Tim Walz is the running mate for Kamala Harris. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But also Matt from Germantown says first-time listener to the show. We're very happy that he is tuned in this morning. Really appreciate that. Says, normally listens to WAUK. That's one of the good things about our network, our Bull Falls Radio, part of the Civic Media Radio Network. During this time frame between 8 and 10 a.m., there are multiple different shows throughout the state of Wisconsin. And if you're somebody that would like to tune in to hear what Earl Ingram has to say, you can do that through the app or through podcasts. And he's on a number of stations. You got Mino and the Mayor over in Green Bay. You got the morning show in Wisconsin Rapids. So again, we speak to a lot of different communities on the Civic Media Radio Network. So appreciate Matt from Germantown checking us out for the first time here this morning. But
Very nice.
yeah, absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about the choice here for Kamala Harris. And I think the first thing you have to say is...
Yeah, I don't know too much about him, actually.
No, and I got to say that I don't know a whole lot about him other than some of the items I've read recently, as his name has been brought up as a potential Democratic vice presidential candidate. But I think the first thing you have to do is look at his record, his experience, compared to the vice presidential candidate on the Republican side. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, very little in terms of a career in politics.
Experience?
He was just elected a couple of years ago after being an author, again, a best-selling author, we'll say that much. But he has a bit of a flip-flop record when it comes to Donald Trump. He at first said that he was a never-Trumper. He was a guy that had compared Donald Trump perhaps to a guy named Hitler. Could be America's Hitler. And then when he's come into office, and now especially in the last few weeks after he's become the nominee for vice president in Milwaukee, his rollout has not been impressive. He has alienated half the country. It may be more than half the country, because I'm just saying half the country being women. Calling a bunch of women cat ladies is not some way to make friends, I would say.
That was not a very smart thing to say at
Not
all.
politically smart. And again, you got to be politically smart in these situations. But the response about Governor Walz has been outstanding from Democrats. And we'll talk about how the Trump campaign is already, they just released a statement. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. But let's talk a little bit about how the governor is being received by Democrats. The text message that we just heard about that Vice President Harris sent to supporters said that Tim Walz is a battle-tested leader who has an incredible track record of getting things done for Minnesota families. I know that he will bring that same principled leadership to our campaign and to the office of vice president. Also, real quickly, I want to know what you think out there. We're just finding out officially that Tim Walz, governor from our neighbor state of Minnesota, is the Democratic choice by Vice President Harris to be the vice presidential nominee of the Democratic Party. If you would like to let us know what you think. What do you know about Tim Walz? What do you like about Tim Walz? You can call or text, again, 715-382-9297. That's 715-382-9297. Again, that number for either a call or a text. And again, if you have the Civic Media app, just so simple. Just go to the app, hit the text button or hit the call button, and you can join the show that way. So I'd love to hear what you think about Kamala Harris deciding on Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota as the Democratic vice presidential candidate. Also, would like to continue talking about some of the responses to this. Governor Josh Shapiro, Pennsylvania, VP finalist in many people's minds. The other finalist says that Walz is an exceptionally strong addition to the ticket, so he's not overly disappointed. I'm sure he's putting on a brave face. I think all these candidates would have loved to have been the choice of the vice president. In a phone call that Vice President Harris had with Tim Walz, said that they are the underdogs in the 2024 presidential race, but they're confident that together they have a winning message on reducing costs for the middle class and protecting freedom. it seems as though the executive experience is one of the reasons why the vice president has been drawn to Walz. According to CNN, that Harris says that Walz has a terrific experience and a great personal biography and also chemistry. And that's something that I think that people need to realize, that for a president and a vice president, there has to be a trust there. Donald Trump did not have it, I think, with his previous vice president,
No.
Mike Pence. I think that's one reason he took J.D. Vance. He wanted a guy that would grovel at his feet, a guy that would that would support him all the way.
And Mr.
So
Vance has definitely delivered on that.
he certainly has. So, but when you look at Tim Walz, and he was a former congressman, and also a guy that was able to win in a tough district. In 2016, Donald Trump won the 1st congressional district in Minnesota by 15 points. Tim Walz, a Democrat, was still able to win that seat. That's not easy. When the Republican presidential candidate wins that district by 15 points and a Democrat was still able to win, that says there were a lot of Republicans who appreciated Tim Walz as their representative, that he is somebody that is able to speak to Republicans, able to speak to conservatives, and to be able to not only talk to them, not only get their respect, but also to get their vote. And when you look at close races in some areas of the country, and looking at Wisconsin, in order for the Democrats to win Wisconsin, yes, you have to maximize the vote in Madison. Yes, you have to maximize the vote in Milwaukee. But if you're able to peel off votes in some of the rural areas, if you're able to peel off some votes, as we're going to see Governor Walz and Vice President Harris go to Eau Claire tomorrow. If you're able to peel off some votes in the western part of the state, if you're able to peel off some votes in the northern part of the state, anywhere from Wausau north. I mean, again, those are very conservative areas when you look at the maps. The votes come in towards the Republican candidates for the most part. But if you're able to close that gap in some areas, all the votes count in a statewide race.
Absolutely.
Again, it's not, even if you have races in the Assembly, in the state Senate, in Congress, where a Republican has an edge over the Democrat. But if you have better Democratic candidates, if you have Democratic candidates that are able to go out there and speak to these folks, who are able to just peel off, again, not a large number of votes, but certain votes, it goes a long way towards winning those battleground states. And again, it's basically a handful of states that will ultimately determine who will be president of the United States. Looking at the record of Walz, when he was in Washington, when he was a member of the Congress, he was the top Democrat on the Veterans Affairs Committee. He is somebody that focused on mental health care access for veterans. He's got quite a record in Minnesota when it comes to his governorship. Again, a great list of accomplishments, again, that speak to the people, not to the power, not to the rich, not to the wealthiest, but somebody that has actually gone out there and tried to make lives better for the people of Minnesota. And again, the folks across the spectrum of Democrats, because often you'll have a situation where a certain part of the party would be disappointed in a selection. But everybody that's come out quickly and early, at least, has said, hey, this is a great choice. You have one of the leaders of Black Voters Matter saying that I actually think Walz is a great pick, even though he comes from Minnesota. And an older white gentleman. No, but the Black Voters Matter's co-founder said, I actually think Walz is a great pick. He has broad appeal in his state. He connects really well with labor and working class people. Said he is plain spoken, a great speaker that connects with everyday Americans. Also somebody from Georgia. Georgia, one of those swing states as well. Somebody that is organizing immigrant communities in Georgia. Luis Zaldivar says that Walz is a unifying choice. He says to CNN, the immigrant community sees with enthusiasm a choice that values pragmatism and getting things done instead of senseless attacks on our community and division in the country.
See, I like to hear that a word, unifying. I think that's a very important term we need to be focusing on more. Is not trying to divide us, but trying to unify and bring us together. Because that's the opposite of what Trump has done in the last few years. He hasn't been trying to bring people together. He's trying to divide us by preying on people's fears and just these assumptions that he has no real evidence of.
And I got to chuckle a little bit about the Trump campaign statement that has come out. They call Walz a West Coast wannabe. And why do they call him a Midwestern governor, a West Coast wannabe?
Why?
Because they say he has spent his governorship trying to reshape Minnesota into the image of the Golden State of California. Well, I laugh at that because here in Wisconsin, we got ourselves a real California resident who wants to be a senator from the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Eric Hovde. A man that lives in California, who works in California, who makes a lot of money in California, but comes back to Wisconsin to say, I want to be your senator. But Trump campaign press secretary Caroline Leavitt says, quote, "It's no surprise that San Francisco liberal Kamala Harris wants West Coast wannabe Tim Walz as her running mate. Walz has spent his governorship trying to reshape Minnesota in the image of the Golden State. While Walz pretends to support Americans in the heartland when the cameras are off, he believes that rural America is mostly cows and rocks." This coming from Donald Trump's campaign. What does Donald Trump know about rural Minnesota or rural Wisconsin or rural America? If they're going after Governor Walz in this way, they have nothing. This is weak sauce.
They're running scared at this point. They're just doing these mindless attacks because they don't actually have a plan.
They're going to try to
agree to disagree, people, but just consider that.
They're going to try to throw mud at the wall, and they're going to try to see what sticks. And we're going to see that over the next couple of days. Coming up, it is our daily history lesson, including our number for the day quiz. Involves Walmart.
And the amount of states.
There you go.
Or something like that.
And some topic. So we'll get to it coming up in just moments. The time is 9:49. Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
And welcome back. Chad Holmes with you here on Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230. Online at bullfallsradio.com. Mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO. And on the Civic Media app. It is Tuesday, August the 6th of 2024. Day number 219 of 366 days in 2024. That means there are 147 days left in this year. And a number of famous events have occurred on this date in history. Going back to 1787, the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia began to debate a draft of the U.S. Constitution. On this date in 1991, the World Wide Web was born. The development of global internet access and linking was announced by two innovators at the CERN laboratory in Geneva, Switzerland. In 1993, a couple of years after that, there were just 130 sites on the web. Who knows how many billions and billions and billions of sites there are now on the World Wide Web.
Yeah, so many.
On this date in 1998, Former White House intern Monica Lewinsky spent 8.5 hours testifying before a grand jury about her relationship with President Bill Clinton. On this date in 2011, insurgents shot down a U.S. military helicopter in Afghanistan, killing 30 Americans, most of them belonging to the elite Navy commando unit that had slain Osama bin Laden. 7 Afghan commandos also died. On this date in 2015, Jon Stewart hosted The Daily Show for the last time, at least for then, because, of course, during this campaign season, Jon Stewart has returned.
He has.
Yeah, to host The Daily Show on Monday nights. So, but he originally ended his first reign as Daily Show host back on August the 6th of 2015.
Many people were happy he made a comeback.
Yep, no, he's very, very smart man and very, very funny man as well. On this date in 2018, Facebook, Apple, YouTube, and Spotify all removed conspiracy theorist Alex Jones from their platforms.
Very smart move.
On this date in 2022, insiders reported that Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian had broken up after 9 months of dating. So those insiders had the information. And finally, 1 year ago today, 2023, Greta Gerwig became the first female to have directed a movie that crossed the $1 billion line. And do you know what movie that was that crossed the $1 billion line 1 year ago today?
I believe it was Barbie.
It was Barbie. So what an incredible hit that was 1 year ago. Some famous folks are celebrating their birthdays today. Actor Michelle Yeoh is 62 years old today. Writer-director M. Night Shyamalan, 54 years old today. It feels like he's older, but he started pretty young with some big hit movies.
He did have a recent movie that just came out.
Yes.
His recent movie was called Trap.
Yep.
It actually looks like a pretty interesting movie. I might have to see that one.
Yep. So M. Night Shyamalan, 54 years old today. Jerry Halliwell Horner of the Spice Girls, 52 years old. Jerry Halliwell, as a member of the Spice Girls, Jerry Halliwell Horner, because her married name, she is married to the person that is the team leader of the Red Bull Formula One racing team. I'm a big Formula One racing fan, so I watch Formula One, and I see her husband, and once in a while she's at the races too. But Jerry Halliwell is 52 years old today. Also, Salil Moonfry, Punky Brewster, also was in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but Salil Moonfry, 48 years old today. Melissa George of Alias and Grey's Anatomy is 48 years old today. And Leslie Odom Jr. of Hamilton and Smash turns 43. If you out there celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to you from all of us at Bull Falls Radio 98.9 and 1230. Some special events being acknowledged today. It is American Family Day. I don't know if that's American Family or is that American Family Insurance? Because
Could be either one.
I think
You
it's.
never know.
I don't think it's American Family Insurance Day. I think it's American Family Day. So
Yeah.
it is Farm Worker Appreciation Day. That's a good one. Again,
Absolutely.
folks who work on those farms, so vitally important to our country. Friendship Day. It is International Blues Music Day. It is Gossip Day. It is Fresh Breath Day. It is National Night Out. It is Root Beer Float Day.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
I had some root beer floats at the fair last week a number of times. I had a couple of root beer floats. So
How were they?
They were good. They were right at this place nearby our stand. So I got refreshed with those root beer floats. And it is Wiggle Your Toes Day. So those are the days being acknowledged here today. All right. It is time for the number for the day. And we give Ian Welsh a number of the day every day. Give them 3 choices. So you got to get 1 out of 3, 33% to have a successful week. And with Aiden on the other side, we're going to let you jump in here as well. We're going to let you make a guess along with Ian. See if
All I heard was root beer floats. That's all I can think of.
And pop up your microphone a little bit, Aiden. We want people to hear you. So there you go. All right. Our number for the day. The number of states in which Walmart is the largest private employer.
Okay.
So the number of states in which Walmart is the largest private employer.
All
Is
right.
the correct answer 21 states?
Okay.
Is the correct answer 31 states? Is the correct answer 41 states?
You're right. That was between a 0 and 50, so that's good.
Exactly.
21, 31, or 41.
I'm going to let Aiden answer first.
Yeah, go ahead, Aiden.
What do you think?
I think it's 31.
All right. The Aiden says 31. Ian, what do you think?
I'm going to say... I'm going to say a 31 as well.
All right.
It's my final answer. I'm going with
Oh,
31.
yeah. Better let you say final answer, or else you'll change
Final
your
answer.
Yeah. Don't want to have a repeat of yesterday.
The number of states in which Walmart is the largest private employer is 21.
Oh, it was the lowest number again.
I know. Throw a curveball once in a while. So.
Man.
All right, guys. So 0 for 2 for Ian, 0 for 1 for Aiden this week. So, guys, thank you both for being with us. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, Chad.
And everybody, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 till 10 a.m. Stick around. Coming up next, Matt and Air on Air, Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 and 1230.